What is up, guys? Welcome back to After the Credits, the review show that no one asked for. And today we are going to be talking about Cat Quest. And this turned out to be one of the most charming and enjoyable video game experiences that I have ever had. So I cannot wait to dive into this game further with you all. So let's just roll the intro and get started. Cat Quest is an open-world RPG that takes place in the kingdom of Felingard, and you play as a cat hero that is only known as the Dragon Blood. Now, the Dragon Blood is a lineage of cats that are all created to defeat and destroy dragons. And the game starts off by the big bad villain of this game, Dracoth, kidnapping your sister, and it is your job throughout the experience to rescue your sister from the evil Dracoth, and of course, killing a few dragons along the way. Now, this is an absolutely absurd premise for a video game, but that's one of the things that makes this game really special, in my opinion. I've mentioned it on this series before, and I will continue to mention it every time I play a goofy game like this. There's just too many games that are out there trying to be the most immersive, realistic experiences that you can get your hands on. And there's just not enough of these games that are just made to be straight up game-ass games that are just fun to jump into and play. And Cat Quest embodies that wholeheartedly. And honestly, even though the story is very surface level, basic hero story, it's wonderful for what this game is trying to accomplish. So while playing through Cat Quest, what you're going to be doing throughout the entire experience is exploring Felingard basically to your heart's content, and stumbling across all the different towns that are spread out across this kingdom. At each individual town, there's a bulletin board, and you can approach the bulletin board to start a side quest. And these side quests are normally about 4 parts long. They're all connected. They're all an individual story at each individual town, which is great game design. So the side quests are really, really fun. And what you're gonna want to spend a lot of time doing side quests when you first start the game, because it is the most efficient way to level up your character. It being an RPG, obviously, the higher level you are, the more damage you're going to be able to do. And you notice that when you level up, you gain additional HP, additional attack power, and additional magic power. That is magic power. There's a lot of puns in this game. It's one of the most charming things about the game are all the cat puns that are in here. And with it being an RPG, that's your main goal, is to try to continue to level up. Now, there is a main quest line in the game as well, as I mentioned before, trying to rescue your sister from Dracoth, but you're not going to be able to do that right away, so you're going to have to do the side quests, and I recommend doing all of them. They're all great, cute little individual stories, and they're well worth your time to go ahead and do. Plus, it's the best way to gain experience as you're beginning the game. Now, aside from the main quest line and the side quests, there are also dungeons in the game. Some of the side quests will take you into these dungeons, but a lot of the dungeons are not going to be touched by side quests, so you have to make a decision on whether or not to go into these. Now, what's great about the dungeons is it's a great little combat encounter, but inside the dungeons there are also chests that you can come across. Now, these chests will give you new weapons and new armor that you can then equip your cat with. There's a huge variety of weapons and armor sets in the game that you can go ahead and get your hands on. They do all play identical, so whether you're using a wand or a sword, you still have to go up and smack the enemy. We'll talk about the combat in just a second, so we'll get to that. But there's just a lot of variety, a lot of customization that you're able to acquire in the game, and most of that's going to come from the dungeons. You are able to purchase weapons and armor at random from the vendor. Kit, you can go to her and spend 50 gold to get a common armor piece, or 5,000 gold to get a more rare piece. But like I said, you really don't have to spend money with her. As long as you just go ahead and go into these dungeons on your journey through Felingard, you'll get equipped up very easily. All right, so now that you got the basic gameplay loop that you're going to be going through during your journey through Cat Quest, we will dive into the combat a little bit here. So, as I mentioned briefly before, There's a bunch of different weapons that you can use, from heavy maces to swords to magic wands to a bunch of different things, but they all play the same. Essentially how it works is you have a melee weapon, whether it be one of those different styles, and then you also have Meowgic or magic. There are 7 different magic spells in the game that you can acquire. Some are better than others, but of course you'll find your play style with the skills that are available to be used for you here. But how the game works is you go into a fight encounter and you basic attack with your melee weapon, and every time that you land an attack on an enemy with that melee weapon, it will refill a little bit of your mana bar. So essentially you go in, you fight to build mana, you back out, and then you use these spells essentially that are usually higher damage. Now where the build variety comes into play in this game is you have different items that are stronger while basic attacking. Pretty self-explanatory. So you have like strength weapons, so like your swords and whatnot, and then you also have your magic or your wands. So the trade-off is you can do damage while you're casting spells and while using magic. If you go for a sword, for example, if you equip a wand, when you go up to do your basic attacks, it's going to do very small melee damage, but it will very quickly charge your mana bar. So you have the ability to play this game completely magic if you want, because you're able to get your magic refilled very, very fast with a wand. But if you kind of like to mix and match and still be viable up close as well as far away, you're going to want to go for a standard melee weapon. Now, the legendary weapon, there are 2 different varieties. There's common items and legendary items in the game. Once you get some of the legendary weapons, they're actually going to be able to do damage in both roles. So they're going to work simultaneously. So it will allow you to play with both play styles efficiently. But just know early game, those common weapons are going to be one or the other in a lot of cases. Same thing with your armor sets that you wear. There are strength armor sets that will boost your attack damage. There are magic sets that will obviously increase the speed at which your mana bar regenerates from basic attacks. But there is also an armor system within the armor. That is really confusing, but bear with me. So there are certain items in the game that will build up an armor stat, which just basically means if you get attacked, it'll hit your armor and not your body. And those are specific items that you can use. There are some items that are only armor. They have 0 health benefit, but they're fully armor. You get like 100 armor, but you still have the base vitality of whatever level that you're at. But essentially the armor is there as well as just kind of a third health mechanic, and that's completely tied to the armor set that you're wearing. There is no wearing a full set will give you a certain boost, nothing like that. So you can go ahead and feel free to customize your character as well as you would like to, with all different sets to maximize your gameplay. That's all here, and very cool. But like I said, once you start to get into those legendary items towards the later half of the game, they're going to be pretty equivalent, pretty strong in both play styles. So, just keep it in mind for early game. You're going to have to prepare a little bit on what you want to do. The presentation in this game is gorgeous. I think the art style is phenomenal. I love the way the character is sized over this map. So it looks like this big old kingdom, but you're just walking across it like an absolute maniac. I think that just looks cool. I think the aesthetic is wonderful. Music isn't that great. There's literally one track that plays on loop throughout the whole game, but the nice thing is this game is paced incredibly well. It's a very quick experience. I would say the story, if you're going through doing all the side quests and then doing the story, you're looking at about 5 to 6 hours for a playthrough. And if you go for the Platinum Trophy, I would add a couple hours to that, just because there are some trophies that require you to get to level 99, which takes quite a bit of time. And then you have to clear all the dungeons. And there is one dungeon in this game that requires level 200. You can do it obviously level 99 or below. You can do it even probably below that. You just kind of have to cheese the enemies to get through it. But there's some stuff that's going to take you a little bit of time if you want to chase that platinum. All right, so now that we covered the game systems and the mechanics, we need to talk about the most important thing, in Cat Quest itself, and that is just simply the experience of the game. The combat systems are not that deep. The gameplay is not that crazy. The story is pretty surface level, all things considered. But none of that really matters because this is a vibes game 100%. It is a game-ass game that is just made to make you feel good, and god damn it, it does it so fucking well. With all the cat puns scattered around the game, it's impossible to play this without having a smile on your face, and it's just such a pleasant, enjoyable, cute experience that I really think this is a game I would recommend to nearly everybody. I don't think the game is challenging, so it's not going to be a roadblock for someone that's newly getting into video games. It's not a huge time sink. It's very well paced and structured, and you can just kind of breeze through the game without even thinking about time, which is a great aspect. The only thing that's kind of lacking, as I briefly mentioned, is the music. I would have liked to have seen a few more tracks, but this is clearly an indie game, probably made by a very small group of people, and they put together an absolute amazing experience. And like I said, I would recommend this to anybody and anyone, no matter if you like cats or not. All things said and put out there, it's a fantastic playthrough. I just don't... What else can I add to that? All right, so with all that being said, we come to the conclusion part of the video, and I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna sound fucking crazy. This game would get an S. It's either getting an S or a very high A for me. This is a perfect game. This is almost a perfect game just for the experience in and of itself. And I know that sounds fucking crazy with the way that I reviewed a lot of other games, if you caught the end of year video or whatever it may be, but if you know what you're going into when you get into this game, you will have all of your expectations met. And honestly, I don't think there's any better compliment that I can give a game than that. So probably actually going to be an S tier game for me. I think this is a must play for nearly everybody. It's a game I could recommend to everybody, and it's a fantastic, great experience. And the platinum's very easy and fun to go for as well. So perfect all around. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode of After the Credits. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for all the support on the videos, as always. I know these videos don't get a lot of views, but you know what? I enjoy making them, and there are some of you that continue to come by and watch them, so thank you so much for that. But yeah, other than that, that is all I got for you guys today. Feel free to leave a like and comment down below on your thoughts of Cat Quest. Let me know I'm fucking crazy for giving it an S. I understand. That's fine. But I'm sticking to it, baby. This is a great game. So yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and make sure to try to catch a live stream. We're live on Twitch at CAMfidence and here right on YouTube as well, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so try to tune in for one of those. We always have a good time over there. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Love you all. We'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.